Hey guys, it's Andrea. Welcome back to Crafter Support. Today I'm going to share with you how to do a fill line to fill in your letters whenever you're using your pens. So here's the first thing we're going to do. Well, you could fill in shapes too. It's like whatever hollow thing that you need filled in. So the first thing and the easiest way to do this is to go on to Etsy and type in fill line SVG. And what you're going to come up with is something that looks like this. And it's just a bunch of different lines. Super simple. I'm going to show you how to make this on your own, but I did purchase this one off of Etsy just to show you guys the easiest way to do it. And if you're not sure how to do an Etsy purchase, I do have a video below, I think, on how I did stickers where you purchase it off Etsy, you unzip the zip file, you save it to your computer, and then you send it into Design Space. So I will try to link that video below, or if you scroll through, you can find that. But this is the easiest way to do it because you don't have to do any of the work. It's done for you. And then you're just going to make some changes to this to be able to fill your letters. So the first thing we want to do is go in here and make this a pen line because we want this to draw out. We don't want it to be a cut line. So we can see here that it's a pen line now. And I want to make sure that all those pieces are attached to each other. So I'm just going to click attached. And now we're going to go down to our text and I'm going to type in the word love. And I'm going to pull it out here so you guys can see it a little better. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and we also want to make this a pen. So we're going to click on pen and see how it hollows it out. Now the very next thing you want to do once you make this a pen line, these pen lines, is you want to duplicate this because you want to have an outline for it to draw and the fill line. So this would be the part that gets filled in with all of the lines. And this is the part that will draw each letter. So here's what we're going to do. I click on these lines and I'm going to click combined and weld. So now these are all one piece. Then I'm going to take the word love over to the lines. I'm going to highlight both the word love and the lines, and I'm going to click slice. And what that's going to do is that's going to give us all of these lines inside of our letters. Now there's a way to fill in those lines there, and I'm going to show you that as well, but I just want you to get the idea of what we're doing. So the next thing we would do is bring back our actual, like the drawing line that goes around the letters. You would highlight both of those, click arrange, and click align left. Or you could just do, you know what, I'll align center horizontally. Do that. And then everything's in line. So now you're just going to highlight them again, and you're going to click attach. And then you can make it on your Cricut. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to hide this option. So we're just going to click on the slice result is what it's going to come up over here, and you're just going to hide it. And then we're going to go ahead and switch to our Cricut Joy, and we're going to click make it. Then you're going to see, I'm just going to be clicking on that we're using the mat, the 4.5 by 12 mat, confirm, and it's going to show you, it's going to look like that. So it wants me to lay my paper out that way, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So like I said, there is another way to do this, and I will show you how to do that as well. It just takes a lot more time. So I think it's much easier. Like, why reinvent the wheel if for like 68 cents you can go onto Etsy and have somebody who already did it for you so that it's ready to go. But I'll show you how, like I said, I will show you how to do, how to make your own. Okay, so let me get my camera adjusted for you. All right. So next what we're going to do is click on continue, and I'm going to need to get my pen. Okay, so remember we're using the Cricut Joy, so we need the specific Cricut Joy pen for in here. We're going to open up our little housing, put it off to the side, and we're going to put our pen in and click it. Okay, so we're writing on Cricut cardstock. It's not my preferred paper to write on, but for demonstration, I'm just going to use it. And now the Joy is going to do all the work. Now remember when I said that there's a way to fill in those lines? I'm going to show you that too in the next step. But this is just if you want to get on and you want to quickly make a card and you want to understand the concept of how it all works. You can tweak it with whatever else you want to make later. So this will take a bit longer because now it's doing all these individual tiny lines. So I'm going to let it record and then I'm going to speed through it whenever I do the editing. Actually, what I'll do is I will stop it till it gets to the end because it will take a little while because we have so much, it's drawing so many lines that I made the letters kind of big. So if you're just doing like a smaller font, it wouldn't take this long, but I wanted to give you a really good idea as to how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and just let it do its thing and then we'll come back to it. I would suggest perhaps keeping some markers, extra markers on hand because this is going to use a lot of ink from your markers. Now here it's doing the trace around that we put over it. Okay, so we are on the letter O, so we're halfway through with the letter O, and it's taken roughly like 6 minutes to do. So we just have the letter L and probably a little over a quarter of the O to do, and it'll be done. So it may take it will take less time if you do smaller letters. If you're, especially if you're only putting them on a card and they're very tiny, it won't take as long. But I wanted to be able to give you a good example, like I said, of how it's going to look. And when you squish the letters down too, it's going to look, in my opinion, fuller because they're smaller letters, if that makes sense. Because what it's actually doing, it's drawing the long rectangle that it needs to make up for that letter. So it draws the rectangle and then it like swipes in and around it. It really is a very neat way. And I'm sure that there's other designs that you could do with this. I honestly don't even know if Cricut offers them. I'm going to have to look on Design Space and see if it's offered. If there's any fill-ins. I thought there were like a long time ago, but I've never used them. So I never really put in the time to like look. But I'm sure there's a way to make designs inside of like, even if you were making like a pumpkin that has like a hollowed out inside and you wanted something cool on the inside of it, I'm sure there's a way to get designs in that. I actually need to look that up for you guys and see if that's something that we can do. Because the more I'm watching it, it could make some really cool projects. I'm really glad that Karen asked this because I probably wouldn't have tried it without her asking. So thank you, Karen, for your video ideas. I really appreciate them. And I also really appreciate that you gave me a super chat. Like wasn't 100% sure how that worked and stuff. And so I just appreciate that you did that. So thank you so much, Karen. So like I said, now we're just on the letter L. And the pen is doing a great job. I was surprised. I thought maybe I'd have to transfer to a different pen in the middle of it because I thought, man, is it going to dry the pen out? But it's not. It's working very well. I mean, maybe when we pull it out, I might see a skip, but I've been trying to watch it really carefully just to see how it's working. And it's working really, really well. So I'm very impressed with, even though there's some gaps in the lines, like, you know how you saw the white spaces, I don't really feel like that's a huge deal with this particular SVG file. So like I said, I'll show you guys how to make your own. But for 68 cents, the one you have to make, it does take a little bit of time, and but you could do it for free, absolutely. But like I said, for 68 cents off of Etsy, this was definitely worth it because you can reuse it and do any letters you want. Like I said, I'm kind of thinking like for pumpkins and in like Halloween things, I thought this would be really cool to use. And here it's making, I believe, the last. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'm just going to unload it from my computer. Oh, look at that. Guys, that did a good job. Now, okay, so here, and I'm just going to be honest, I'm trying to be like, I don't like Cricut paper for this reason. If you see how it bleeds out, and the reason it does that is because their paper has like grooves in it. On like one side's not as bad as the other, but that I don't like it because of that. But like the L where the lines just went down and it didn't come out, look how nicely and sharp that line is. But any line that went like here, it just like bled down into the line. And it's the same way with the O and the sides of the V. The E, look at this, perfect. And then you come over here and it's bleeding because it's like transferring down those little grooves. And that's why I don't like to use Cricut paper for drawing. Like, I just think it's not the best. So, okay, we have that. And I don't want this video to be super long for you guys. I like to try to explain things and do things not quickly, but definitely thinking about your time. So let me reset up the laptop and see how I can show you how to make your own draw lines. Like I said, this is going to, there we go. Sorry, I needed to focus. It's easy, but it's just going to take some time. So we're going to click done. And then I'm going to try this later on with my with other paper. And let me remove that from there. And let me turn this like right like that and try to like stabilize the. All right, so I'm going to remove all those little squares and hopefully it doesn't zoom in and out as much. Okay, so let's jump into it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come over here to your shape and you're going to grab a square. Then we're going to go up here and unlock. And we want our width to be 0.01, enter, and we have this line. Okay, so it doesn't matter how long it is. You can do it however long you want. But this is the start of what we need. Now we're going to come over to here where we can duplicate. So we're just going to say duplicate, I don't know, quite a few, like 10 or something like that. We're going to highlight all of them. We're going to hit a line up here on top, and we're going to put distribute horizontally. And then we're going to, I could have left that highlighted, but then we're going to click select all, just make it easy for us, right? Click select all, click align, and then I'm going to go align top. So now they're all evenly distributed amongst each other and they're all even on top. So then the next thing I'm going to do is click select all. I'm going to group it together by coming over here and clicking group. And then I'm going to duplicate that. And you guys will quickly, I'm sure, understand the process. I'm going to get these as close as I possibly can. Like, I have terrible vision, but we're going to get as close as we can. And then I'm going to click select all. align tops, and group. So can you see, like, this is how it's going to be. Then I'm going to duplicate it again. And we're going to do this exact same thing again. We're going to pull up this side. We're going to line it up as close to each other as possible. And then some of those are overlapping. So you see where it gets really dark, that means they're overlapping. And you don't really want them to overlap too much because they could rip the paper. So if you're putting too much ink in one spot, you know, as a kid, you would color too much with your marker and it would rip your paper. We don't want that. So this is how we're going to do it. So we're going to go up here to select all. We're going to click align top. We're going to go back over here, click duplicate, and we're going to do the exact same thing. I'm mainly looking on the left. So we're going to line that up, click select all, align top, and I think we can duplicate one more time. And see, it's going to put a little bit of a dark line, but you get the gist of it, right? So we're just going to try to fill in those little spots. We're going to click select all again. We're going to click align top. And then I'm going to go over here to where it says basic cut. And we don't want it to cut all those little tiny lines. We want it to pen those lines. So we're going to click pen. And now those are all pen lines. Now, like I said, see where it's dark black? You could take those out. I mean, you could, but I don't know that they're going to be like, I don't know that they're going to tear your paper. Try it out. See, like, play around with it. That's my best advice to you guys, is always try it out. So then the next thing I'm going to do is click select all. And I'm going to come down here to combined, and I'm going to click weld. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go to text. We're going to go to love. And I'm going to move it over to here and stretch it out. We're going to go to operation and make it pen. So we're basically doing the same thing we did last time. And we're going to put that there. And we're going to put select all. We're going to slice. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I did not duplicate the word love. So I'm actually going to go to undo, because if I don't do things in a process, it gets mixed up in my brain. So we're going to come back. We're going to duplicate our word love, because this is going to be our outline. Okay, so here's our outline. And our word love popped up in here. So we're going to realign it. And we're going to click, oh, sorry about that. We're going to put that right there. We're going to highlight the word love in here and the lines. And we're going to come down here to slice. We're going to remove these. I'm going to hide that. Now that looks pretty cool though. Like, I can definitely see where it's going to be darker in some spots, but that's not terrible. And I'm going to highlight both of these. I'm going to click center horizontally and center vertically. And now that's all together. We're going to click, we could have just left that highlighted, but we're going to click it again and click attach. And we're going to do this one more time. So we're going to click make it, make sure your Joy or whatever machine you're using is chosen. We're going to click make it. And I'm just going to flip the mat. I'm just going to flip our paper around and press it. Oopsie. Okay. Excuse me. had this dry cough like all day at church. I was like trying to hold it in, and like they were praying, and I was like, I can't cough while we're praying. But I've had this just dang cough. Okay. So now it's all ready to go. We're going to click continue. And you know what? I was going to change my pen, but I just kind of want to see what this bad boy is going to do. I want to see if this pen's going to last. Doing yet another one. So I'm going to click the medium cardstock, which is 80 pounds. It tells me, of course, to load my machine. And now it's going to start the same process that it did for the other one. Okay, we're going to click go on our laptop. And it's going to get started. I don't know if I made this one bigger or smaller. But it's really neat how it does it. I'm actually really impressed with it. So okay, I will turn off the camera while it's processing, and then we'll take a look at it when it's all done. Okay, this one is definitely taking longer and using a lot more ink, but the way I designed it, I made them really close together. So it makes sense why it's taking longer and using more ink, but that's just a heads up. Like, it is taking quite some time to even just do the letter E. I am a little worried about the pen. Well, maybe it's still really dark. It's still writing black, but yeah, it's just taking quite a bit of time to do. So that's another thing, is how much time you have. I'm sure you could just set it up and then like walk away and let it do its thing if you want. When I video, I kind of sit and like baby everything to make sure that it's turning out well for you guys. So I'm just going to sit here and keep watching and making sure that it's doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, so we just are 51% of the way through, and it's been 9 minutes. So it took 9 minutes, I believe, to do this one. The first one we did total, and we're just on the ending portion of the letter V, and it's now been 10 minutes. Okay, so it's just kind of finishing up with the letter O, and we're at 15 minutes. Okay, so it's just finishing up with the letter L. So this word, as big as it is, I'll have to find the size for you. It looks like I did about 2.5 inches in height. So this one took, and it's not done, we're at 17 minutes. So yeah, and again, I know I've said it before, but the smaller the letters you do, it's not going to take quite as long. And it doesn't look like it's been affected at all for like ripping or tearing the paper. So here we go. We're going to get a chance to see it. We're going to click unload. Okay. So definitely inconsistencies with the lines. So you could duplicate those lines a little bit better and layer them. And I don't think it would hurt much at all. Like, I think it would improve it if you layered them like a little. So you could definitely keep with the select all once you duplicate it, and then go to align top and bottom. And this is the original one we did. So if this was helpful, definitely leave a comment below. But you could just keep doing it over and over until you get it the thickness that you like it. So that way there it's coloring in more, because you can definitely see where it was overlapped. Let me try to pull it in here. You can see where it was overlapped here a lot of times, and then here not so much. But you could definitely, like I said, change that and just do more lines. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope that this gave you guys some ideas for creativity of what kind of maybe you want to do little tiny circles in like something. So maybe you want to do X's all through words or something. You could do that. You could absolutely add all of that. The sky's the limit. You know, I'd love to see what you guys are creating. Definitely, if you're not a member of our YouTube channel, Crafter Support, there's a link below. You can click on that and join our Crafter Support Facebook channel. And it's a Facebook group. Oh man, it's late. It's like 9 o'clock at night. I need to go to bed. But yeah, so thanks so much for watching. If you stayed this long, I appreciate it. And let me know if you have any videos that you would like to see or that you need help doing, and I will try to help you out. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. We'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.